Hello, my name is Alicia Hart, and I'm a training associate at the Virginia Commonwealth University's Autism Center for Excellence. I work from a remote location and help develop a variety of online training videos and materials for schools, families, and community members about autism spectrum disorder, including best practices for teaching children with ASD from preschool through graduation, as well as the most effective interventions for helping children with ASD reach their potential. While I have been working in autism-specific training for many years now, I am also a parent of a child with ASD. My son, Ewan, was diagnosed with autism when he was just barely 2 years old. He is now almost 18 and planning to go to college soon. Due to the COVID-19 global pandemic event, all of our daily routines have been thrown out the window, and our lives look very, very different now. No matter what your life was like before the virus entered the news, it is definitely different today. Before all this began, I worked from home and both of my children were virtual students. However, I can tell you that even my life and my children's lives are very different right now. I'll be honest, most of the time, I'm not really sure what day it is. When you rarely leave the house except for essential groceries, the days, they all tend to blend together. And going to the grocery store obviously isn't the same as it was before. Where before I might have taken my time walking through the aisles looking for dinner inspiration, now I rush in and out in record time, and a lot of the groceries on my list are not even on the shelves right now. And while I used to think the evening news was enough to keep me up to date on what was happening across the world and across the country, now I seem to be getting alerts on what feels like an hourly basis. Honestly, most of the time I can barely manage to keep up with everything that is happening. I imagine you and your family are struggling with many of the same issues and are probably dealing with an even bigger adjustment to life with COVID-19 as you or your spouse has moved from working in an office to working at the dining room table, and your children are no longer leaving each morning for those colorful classrooms and no longer able to see their friends. I imagine you are feeling a little lost in the week as well, and struggle to maintain a routine in a life where most of us are asking, what day is it again? In order to help families like mine and yours manage this crisis and develop manageable schedules and routines, VCU-ACE is developing a series of products, including videos, printables, resource links, and more. These products are designed for families who are raising children with ASD and also trying to meet the demands of life during a pandemic. Some of our resources will be geared toward families raising very young children, including infants, toddlers, and preschoolers. Other resources will be designed for families with elementary-age children. And because our center is lucky to have world-renowned professionals who work in transition-related research, we will, of course, have many products designed for adolescents and young adults. In times like this, it can be difficult to even know where to start. Well, from my own experience, I can tell you the best place to start is right here. Now is the time to reflect on how you are doing in all of this. I can tell you that I've sat down and cried many times in the last few weeks, and I am not usually a crier. This is not anyone's normal, and it can be difficult for even the strongest of us to bear. It all feels a little too much, too fast, and if you are anything like me, you are probably wishing for something like a pause button. So right now, the questions I need you to think about are, how are you doing? How are you really doing? Are you okay? Are you able to take care of yourself? Do you have even just 5 minutes to try and relax? Do you have support at home right now at all? I don't have all the answers, and I don't have that magic pause button. But if there is one thing I want all of our families and caregivers to understand, is that this is what we call an oxygen mask moment. Most of us have been on an airplane and heard the safety speech, and you have likely already heard the phrase, put on your own oxygen mask before helping anyone else, even your child. There's a reason they tell passengers that. Because if you can't breathe, you can't help anyone. Not your spouse, not your child, not your parents, not your neighbors, and definitely not even yourself. So in this time of crisis, I want you to start by thinking about yourself. For most parents and caregivers, this can be hard. We are often thinking about the needs of others. But now is a time to put yourself first. Because if you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anyone else. This means you need to eat. You need to be drinking enough water. You need as much rest as you can get. You need even just 5 minutes to yourself, even if you have to lock yourself in the bathroom to get it. You need to breathe, slowly in and out, while you try to find whatever inner peace you can in what feels like an out-of-control world. You are going to need to do this every single day. Maybe even multiple times a day as we all get through this. Just remember, this is not forever. Once you have that oxygen mask on and you've taken some breaths for yourself, let's move forward toward thinking of our families and our children. How are they doing? How are they really doing? Are they okay? Do they have the support they need at home to deal with the tremendous changes that have happened? Sit down. Talk as a family about how to make everyone comfortable. Talk about the things that you love. Play the games that your family enjoys. Watch the movies and shows that make you laugh. Cook some of your favorite recipes and eat some of your favorite meals. Do all the things that your family finds comforting, because we could all use a little comfort right now. In the extraordinary times we find ourselves living through, now is a time for coming together and helping lift each other up. VCU-ACE is committed to being there in whatever way we can for families across the Commonwealth as we get through this. And we will get through this. We'll get through it together. In the coming days and weeks, look for more resources from VCU-ACE that are designed to help you and your family handle the changes that are happening and to make the best out of what we've been given. I hope your family stays safe and healthy, and we wish everyone all the best in the days to come.